Hey there, everyone. Welcome inside the Bahakel Sports Studio and another great night of high school football action in the Queen City and the surrounding areas. I'm Bahakel Sports Director Jeff Taylor alongside Jack Taylor.
Yeah, and over the next 30 minutes, we're going to bring you the best highlights and scores from around the area. And Jeff, this week was a little unusual as we had teams playing both last night, some Thursday night football, and tonight as well. But we were able to go across the metro area to get all of those teams.
We were busy.
Oh, yeah,
we were busy. So, hey, let's get things started and head out to Myers Park, who played host to Marvin Ridge. Marvin Ridge coming off that heartbreaking loss to Lake Norman last week, while Myers Park came into last night with a 1-3 record and looking to carry momentum from last week's win. Myers Park was up 17-0 at the half. Marvin Ridge finally gets on the board. QB Braden Redmuir with a touchdown pass to Mark Arthur in the back of the end zone. Marvin Ridge down 10 midway through the third with some momentum, but Myers Park playing tough D. Orlando Brown, the great pass break, and watch the coach. He's loving the play. Myers Park in the fourth is going to put this one away. Wendell Thompson is going to hit the pass to Miles Backham, who makes the great catch. Myers Park wins this one 24-7, and afterward we caught up with head coach Chris James of Myers Park.
Man, I can't say enough about this group, man. These coaches, man, this community, man, they've done everything we've asked as a staff. My staff works their butt off every single day. They come to work every single day, and I'm so happy for these kids, man, because they deserve it all, man.
The Mustangs look ahead to a trip to Palisades to continue conference play next week.
Let's take a look at some more conference action across the Queen City. West, Meck, and Chambers, both 2-1 after losing their openers. And this one got out of hand fast. Chambers already on the board, knocking on the door yet again. The handoff to Braylon Vinson, barreling his way all the way to the goal line. Wouldn't get it, though, but don't worry. He's going to punch it into the next play, making sure he gets that touchdown off of the ground. Now, West Meck unable to get anything going, forced to punt it again. Over the head it goes. Isaiah Carson can't get it going. It goes in the end zone, and someone in an orange hat is going to scoop it up for 6. I'm not sure who, but it's going to be another touchdown for Cougars. And now they're going to continue on. There was no love lost in this conference matchup. Prince Caldwell, another touchdown for the running back. He's going to score in that play. They're going to score in every area yesterday. Romani Watson for West Meck in shotgun, trying to make something happen way out wide. No one's around anywhere. Keelan Flo's going to take it the other way. He's going to find the sideline. He's got green grass. Eventually, he's going to make a juke and get pushed out of bounds. So then Jalen Pride finishing off the scoring drive. They shut out West Meck 56-0.
All right, on we go. Next stop from last night's action is Providence, who played host to Charlotte Catholic. Panthers fans enjoying a beautiful night for football. We pick it up in the first quarter, tied 7-all. Both defenses stepping up first. Charlotte Catholic's front line gets to Jackson Deeby, who gets sacked, loses the ball. And number 48, Dom Braswala, comes up, giving Catholic a great field position, but the Panthers D is going to come right back and make the big play. Billy Wilkes, the linebacker, picks off the pass, turns on the Jets, and he returns it to the house for the touchdown. That gave Providence a 14-7 lead. Charlotte Catholic offense, however, is going to get back on the field, and this time they will find some success. They have a great quarterback in Charlie Smith. He is going to find Hugh O'Brien, who is going to turn the play into a big gain for Catholic. A few plays later, Catholic comes away with just 3 points on this 29-yard field goal, making it 14-10 Providence. However, in the end, Charlotte Catholic gets the win 29-22.
That's a bitter rivalry in that one,
is.
too. Let's jump ahead to the second half of Barry and Palisades. They made the trip all the way out there. Of course, it's quite a trip. And the Pumas were up 18-0 going in the locker room. Barry looking for some life, and they find it here. JC to the floor, dropping back to pass over the middle, but Caleb Owens creeps in, takes it the other direction. That's a house call to put Barry finally on the board there in the second half. A lot of defense in what was a quiet half other than this. Tanner Bushy on the other side for Barry. He's going to take it. Quarterback Reed going the own way. Maybe he wishes he didn't, though. Look at him get drilled by Kendrick Davis.
Ouch.
Coming out of nowhere. That was a helmet-to-helmet and a flag. Fourth quarter, Barry trying to put together a comeback. A miscommunication here. The ball finds its way on the ground, scooped up by Damari Wilson, and the freebie to seal the deal for the Pumas. He takes it all the way the other way. That was just about the icing on the cake, but some cool plays here a little bit later. Addison Rowland, a transfer from Legion Collegiate out in Rock Hill, his first varsity play ever.
Wow.
Touchdown pass to Amari Peterson to make that just a wider margin. Palisades gets this one 38-6. Barry loses of their last 3.
Wow, kind of surprising there. Hey, final game for this segment. Local powerhouse Butler played host to Garinger. The Butler Bulldogs playing some of the best football in the state of North Carolina, and it showed last night. Garinger's first possession was 3 and out. The punt is fielded by number 8, Jeremy Nixon, who, guess what, finds some running room, and he will take it all the way back for the Bulldogs. Exactly. He didn't look like he was going fast. The extra point was good, and it was 7-0 Butler. Things would not get any better for Garinger. Next offensive play, actually, the pass is picked off by guess who? Number 8, Jeremy Nixon, who just had the punt return for the TD. Now he adds a pick 6. Nixon dives for the goal line. The ball came loose, but he already broken the plane. They said score. That would make it 14-0 Butler. The Bulldogs going to win this one 70-0 and get their conference play started with a win. Butler is at home next week against Providence. And let me tell you about that game real quick. Garinger ran 5 offensive plays, and it was 21-0 before Butler even stepped onto the field. So
now, did Nixon get that fumble in the end zone?
He did.
Okay, so he still gets that touchdown.
At least from my point of view, he did.
Yeah.
We can have the replay. Hey, take a deep breath. Stick around. We have a lot more for you as the Blitz rolls on. We'll show you more from last night's action on the gridiron.
And as we go to break, take a look and a listen from our student section of the week. It's the Rowdy Warriors from Weddington.
And welcome back to the Blitz. If you think Friday was full of highlights, buckle up. Thursday had plenty of games, too, under the lights.
Yeah, Thursday Night Football, that Thursday Night Thunder. I know you had a front row seat to a lot of history last night. Not only some game-winning plays, but some records set, too.
Some records that may not be broken for some time. Yeah, some games are determined by talent, some by sheer luck, others by willpower, as in an undaunted determination to not be defeated, like West Charlotte last night. Yeah, West Charlotte leads mighty Mallard Creek 17-15, 4 minutes left. Caleb Knight from Mallard Creek, a whistling spiral to Zachariah White, who drives inside the 5, going for the win, but he's taken down by DeQuinder Williams. Maybe the play of the year. 3rd and goal. Mallard Creek is stopped inside the 1 by Sam Napier. 4th and goal, 50 seconds left for the game. The Creek goes for the win, but they are denied. That's Jaden Smith, an absolute dog with the game-saving stop. He's committed to Michigan. West Charlotte is committed to 4-0, 17-15. Here is the Michigan man.
It took heart, man. You know, we always saying I should made the tackle. You know, unfortunately I did. But I thank my boys for stopping the D-line and having the quarterback that feels amazing to go 4-0, man.
I'll tell you what, you get Mallard Creek on the goal line 10 times out of 10, you're not stopping them 10 times out of 10.
But they got a guy going to Michigan.
They do, and that's enough for them.
Yep.
Well, meanwhile, Olympic took on South Meck, and the Sabres were looking for their first win of the year. They started on the ground, making a strong statement with runs such as this, and the Sabre runs over a few Olympic defenders, and Olympic decided to move the ball through the air, not the ground. C.J. Martin with the catch and run all the way downfield before he's finally taken out of bounds, setting up Olympic with great field position. They decide to go to the ground. You're on the ground, you're in the air. It was working in the air. Why go to the ground? So the front line for South Meck looking strong, making a stop there. They're going to continue their ways on defense. Next play, quarterback calls his own number, Jadakis Fields. Jadakis Fields, yeah, that got me there. The score for Olympic, but in the end, South Meck getting the upset and their first win of the season in conference play, 46-33. Olympic dropping to 2-3.
Didn't see that coming.
No, that was a
North
shocker.
Meck. Huff. It felt like an Anthony Walker pad-popping Huskies highlight reel. Dip hit, wrap drive. How about Trey Blakeney? The Huff quarterback had his best game as a starting quarterback. 2 rushing touchdowns in the fourth quarter on the zone read option play. Trey then to the thrill of Will Jones on a tackle-breaking mission for 6. He's gaining tons of traction with colleges. You can see why. Huff's defense, well, they fired up the scoreboard too. James Nesta, a pterodactyl, Oklahoma commit, blows up the hitch route, has a Boomer Sooner party for 6. 52-7, Huff wins. But the big story is a moment in the third quarter.
Waiting for this one.
Huff's Nolan Hooser entered Thursday night with 56 career field goals. That's tied for the national high school record. Snap, hold, history. Hooser's 48-yard bomb makes him the GOAT. He's going to Clemson, but first he's going into the record book. Here is the most prolific place kicker of all time.
Oh, it feels great, especially on like a 48-yard field goal. It wasn't anything like weak, inside 30. Really wanted on something long, and the offense put me in that position. I'm very grateful what they've done in the defense, holding people short so we can get in those positions, and it just means a lot to me, especially to be here with my teammates in that celebration.
A lot of states, a lot of years, a lot of kickers. He's number 1.
I'm gonna make a prediction for you. I'm gonna make you make a prediction. What do you think he's gonna get by the end of his career here?
I think he's going to have 65 plus, but he's an NFL player.
We'll keep that too. All right, let's go to Rocky River now, traveling to East Meck in the third quarter. Ravens already leading 30-21. Rocky River with the ball. And Amir Watson found his wide receiver, Shamari Johnson. Johnson looking to add yards, and the play goes the opposite direction. Ethan Bryan, special teams on the other side now. The punt over his head. He's not able to wrap it up. Rocky River is going to get some great field position there, right on the goal line. Now, they're going to have it in the red zone, able to put some points on the board if they can get into the end zone from here. And it would end up for the Ravens falling it on a touchdown. Then East Meck again, 10 seconds to go in the game. Takeo Massey calls his own number, scoring from 25 out. You'd think that would give him some momentum going forward, but Rocky River keeps their 10-point victory, 37-27. Ravens finally getting on a roll here.
Yeah, good job for them. They needed that win. And Hopewell was on the road at Harding University High School, coming off the win last week against Garinger, looking to get to 500 on the season, picking up the action. Last play of the first quarter, Edward Johnson finds Derek Ely, touchdown Hopewell. And then Hopewell up 7-0. Second quarter, this time Johnson, his own number. A do-it-yourself program, quarterback keeper from the 2-yard line. He scores, extra point no good, didn't matter. Harding found themselves down 13-0. And Harding gets their first touchdown, their first points of the game. Good for them. They got it done. But I tell you what, in the end, Hopewell gets the win, 37-12. And don't go anywhere. We have more coming up, including a look at our game of the week that was streamed on BahakelSports.com this evening between Monroe and Porter Ridge.
And as we go to break, take a look at our cheerleaders of the week, as Lady Bulldogs from Butler High School had some help from some budding and aspiring cheerleaders as well.
Double
Hey there, everyone, and welcome back to the Blitz as we bring you all the action from the past 2 nights here in the Queen City. Our Bahakel game of the week, which was live streamed on BahakelSports.com tonight, was Porter Ridge, who traveled to Monroe to take on the Red Hawks. Now, this was a great game with a great moment to start it all. Monroe head coach Johnny Sal was presented his coach's jacket. Sal is the head coach of the North Carolina team for the 87th Shrine Bowl in December. He's been the man in charge at Monroe for 18 years, and tonight his team would feed off that moment. Early on, Porter Ridge gets on the board. Jared Lockhart with the quarterback keeper gets Porter Ridge on the board 7-0. But Monroe down 14-0. Kagan Chambers says, anything you can do, I can do better. He scores on the keeper to pull Monroe within 7. Now, what might be the run of the year, Namar Kendall gets the handoff, gets lost in the pile, keeps his legs moving, breaks away from everyone, and finds the end zone for the Red Hawks. In the end, Monroe and head coach Johnny Sal get the 28-20 victory. And to help us break down all the action from the game, we bring in the 2 gentlemen who were on the call for Bahakel Sports. That's Reggie Walker and Darren Vaught.
All right, we had another wild one here on the Bahakel Sports Game of the Week. Reggie Walker, Darren Vaught from an intense Union County rivalry here at Monroe High School. This one started out 14-0 in favor of Porter Ridge, but you said it in that moment on our broadcast on the Bahakel Sports Game of the Week, Reggie. You said, make no mistake, Monroe is going to keep fighting. They're going to get back in this game.
Absolutely. They're on this field behind us. This is where they lay their hat, as they say, right? Where he lay his hat is his home. Monroe was not going to have that in their stadium tonight. An excellent job showing the resolve, dealing with the adversity to come back in this football game.
All right, well, they've already shut out the lights on us, so let's get to the highlights from the Bahakel Sports Game of the Week. It started with a 90-yard scoop and score. Jatavian Taylor picks it up as Kagan Chambers, the quarterback from Monroe, dropped it. Taylor was all alone by the time he got those long strides all the way down the field.
Yeah, that was a big play in this game, and all of a sudden everybody started looking around going, what's happening to this Monroe football team? And then all of a sudden they started to respond. As you see Kagan Chambers there cutting it to 14-7, and all of a sudden here came the Uncle Mo was on their side.
Only score in the third quarter of action. How about Namir Kendall? Just ran into the congestion, somehow came through on the other side, 21 yards for the score. That tied it up at 14.
And then you knew that Monroe was feeling it at this point. This throw right here by Kagan Chambers on a 3rd down to Jordan Young over the middle, down to the 1-yard line, set up Chambers' own 1-yard touchdown run to really extend that lead 28-14 at that point. And then it was about protecting their lead down the stretch. Give up a touchdown, but this is the key play right here. You stop the 2-point conversion attempt, and all of a sudden the time and clock becomes a problem, and Monroe is able to close this one out at home.
Final score at our Bahakel Sports Game of the Week, 28-20.
Now, of course, our thanks to Reggie Walker and Darren Vaught for the wrap of the Bahakel Sports Game of the Week. Next week, our game will be West Meck, who will travel to West Charlotte. That should be a good one. Now, for some more of tonight's highlights, here is John and Jack.
Yeah, that's right, Jeff. We got some Friday night football. Of course, that's how it normally goes. But we got 2 days this week. So not everyone started their conference competition yet. Let's go out to Weddington as the Warriors look to get back on track after their first loss last week. And this guy right here, he's doing push-ups for every point they scored. So that should tell you how much of a lead they had going into this one. 21-0 at the end of the first. Warriors looking to pile it on. Tyler Budge rolling out right across the body. Some serious air time all the way to Keenan Jackson all alone to add to the amount of push-ups that kid has to do early on in this game. Now Chapel Hill would at least try to make the trip worth it, turning a turnover like you see right here as the defensive back comes over and just snipes that one. They're going to try to turn that into points. They would get on the board, but not nearly enough. Not nearly as often. And that kid that we were looking at the beginning with, he had to do 66 push-ups at the end of the night as Weddington is back in the win column, 66-13.
Kid's going to be jacked.
Yeah, I know. It's a better workout plan than I've got. Now down the road, Sun Valley taking on Alexander Central. The Spartans clearly are ready for this one, running out of the tunnel with that helmet on. It was no surprise they came fast out of the gates. First drive, Brady Turf giving it to DeBrian Coffey, who's able to break a couple tackles, gain a huge chunk on the ground to get to the red zone. Turf in shotgun, a wide open Andrew Duty at the pylon, strolling in for 6. and the Spartans are going to be out early and often into the red zone. Just a few minutes later now, bubble screen to Jaden Jones. He's got some blockers. He's not really going to need them. Hits the B button, the spin move to walk into the end zone. 6 more for the Spartans. Now, they would show signs of weakness at times, but it wouldn't really matter. The shutout, they would pitch at the end of the game. The Cougars keep their winning streak alive, 48-0 over Alexander Central.
Big win. Now we've got Northwest Cabarrus, South Rowan, and sportsmanship on display. How about South Rowan? They're going to put the ball on the deck. It's going to be recovered by Eddie Conover by Northwest Cabarrus. In business, they didn't need any help, but they did certainly get it. How about Ray J. Waters? Surrounded by 4 defenders, but none of them can take him down. Stopping Waters is like stopping a flood. Trojans up 7-0. And then Trojans' next possession, Alex Walker. He tells his buddy Porter Branham, run a post, I'll hit you. And he runs away from the defense for a 59-yard touchdown. 14-0. Ray J. Waters, an unstoppable force of football. Ray J. Waters was everywhere. And as you can see, he was a problem. 21-0 in the first 7 minutes of the game. It got worse. We'll let you look at the final score here. But Northwest Cabarrus is a great team, 63-0. West Rowan and Jesse Carson. West Rowan with the lead and adding in a hurry. People in China Grove were pumped. Jalen Neely, freeze, accelerate. They lead 13-0. Into the second quarter, 2 girls basketball powerhouses trying to get it together on the football field. Cougars trying to get something done. Snap to Michael Guyton. He steps back. He plants on his front foot and lets it go. Touchdown. Oh, no, just a catch. Trevor Vaugh, nice play. A couple of plays later, Makani Guida. He's going to get the handoff and finish it with his man started before him. Touchdown, 13-7. Cougars on their next drive. They're going to go for it on 4th down, and they're going to be denied. Kevin Toomer, game-changing tackle, 32-14. West Rowan with the victory. Well, don't go anywhere. We've still got one more segment to go on the Blitz, including Hickory Ridge playing at home for the first time this season.
So when you have that debut, you've got to get the fanfare too. They're our band of the week, so let's listen to the Marchin' Ragin' Bulls of Hickory Ridge.
For you as we bring a close to this week's high school football action here in the Queen City and surrounding area. Let's head out to Hickory Ridge. Hickory Ridge at home for the first time this season and looking for a win, 1 on the season. 0-4 on the road so far, playing host to A.L. Brown. It was Military Appreciation Night. Early on, trailing by 3, A.L. Brown gets the first touchdown night. C.J. Gray with a nice pass to Xavier Chambers, who lays out to make the grab for the score. That lead would not last, however. Hickory Ridge comes right back. Caden Haywood with a deep pass to Jalen Harris. That is a touchdown off a beautiful pass. Extra point was good, and it was 10-7 Hickory Ridge. Next possession for the Raging Bulls, and this is a play ahead. Coaches hold their breath. Caden Haywood gets the snap, rolls to a left, finds no one open, comes back to the right, can't find anyone, so he decides to keep it himself and try to find the end zone. He dives inside the 5, comes down head first. The ball comes out. The official said he was down. He'd be okay, just short of the goal line. As a matter of fact, Haywood would score in the next play. Then next Hickory Ridge possession, Haywood with a nice touch on the deep ball and finds Dominic Testa, who made the tough grab with a defender on him. Touchdown, Hickory Ridge, the horn blowing in my ear. They go on to beat A.L. Brown in this one, 33-28.
Picturesque Friday night in Mooresville, North Carolina, even for the devil. This is why they didn't allow dancing in the church. That's right. It was a conga line of end-zone dances for the Blue Devils. Riley Norman to A.J. Baker. Mooresville was a monster, an unstoppable monster, a body-throwing monster. Jamari Farmer with the physicality. And then Norman, just a sophomore, throwing money in the sky. A.J. Graham says about ready to get that NIL money. 80 yards of bliss. The route was on. And then Norman to Jalen Wright. The tight end. Can they tackle right? Wrong. 42-0. Mooresville moves to 4-0.
They are tough.
All right, everyone, it's that time of night, a staple in the show. Photojournalist Mike Thomas bringing us the latest from South Iredell. The Vikings put on a clinic in the first half. We've seen this all season long from the Viking quarterback Tyler Johnson, calling his own number, taking it in himself for the touchdown. But the Vikings are still not satisfied early on in this one. Now, they're up to punt, and they got some trickery and play direct snap to Noah Klum. He's got blockers. He's got life on the outside. He's forced out of bounds, nearly knocking over Mike Thomas, putting in some OT out there. And we're still just in the first half of this one. Johnson with the ball. Again, he scrambles out left. Doesn't like what he sees. Kind of like that Hickory Ridge play. He goes back the other direction. He's not going to go all the way to the end zone, though. He's going to get it over the air, sending a prayer to the hands of Drew Bryant. 16-0 at the end of the half, but those were the only points the Vikings score in regulation. Overtime knotted at 16 apiece. Wes Cabarrus coming back. You see that score kind of gave it away, but the game was on the line. Johnson puts the team on his back. Not denied there. He's going to power his way into the end zone, but they would miss that 2-point conversion. Wes Cabarrus with a chance, out sideways to the sideways wind out to tie the game. Then the extra point is up and good, and the Wolverines walk off and out with a win.
That's a huge win.
That's a big win. Hey, let's take a look at some more scores from around the area tonight. This is not a baseball score, folks. Concord 11-10 over East Rowan.
That's like a Scoreology on Twitter or a Score Sudoku. They got to make sure they have that exact one there.
Next scores for you.
We got 2 more from out of the area. Cuthbertson shutting out South Caldwell 42-0 in that game.
And finally, the opposite of 11-10 is 45-35. Jumping at
just a little bit.
Win. Yes.
How'd you come up with that calculation?
I know.
That's right.
I'm still trying to figure out the 11-10. Hey, before we go, here's our play of the week from last week as voted on by you, the viewers. And this week's winner with 43% of the vote was the play from Lake Norman's win over Marble Ridge. Haynes Robitzer, great name, to Antonio Griffin for the score. That led the comeback win. A new poll will be out early next week for fans to take a look at and vote. Make sure you check out our social media sites to see what those plays, what will be voted on. I can tell you what, after what we've watched tonight, that's going to be we got to figure out who those 3 plays are because that's kind of tough. Hey, that is a wrap on the Blitz. Thanks to John Treach and Jack Taylor. Thanks for joining us. And before we go, just a reminder that on December 16th, the 87th Shrine Bowl of the Carolinas will kick off down in Spartanburg. And on Sunday, right here on BahakelSports.com at 1 p.m., I'll be joined by the 2 head coaches, Johnny Sal, the North Carolina coach, and Wayne Farmer, the South Carolina coach, and we'll reveal those players making the 2 teams. It is our Shrine Bowl selection show, and we are proud to be a part of this historical bowl game, and the Panthers aren't playing until Monday, so tune in. Finally, make sure you stay with Bahakel Sports for all your high school coverage. We will see you next week on the Blitz. Have a great weekend.